I've just been arrested. What happens next?
Being arrested in San Diego is a very serious thing. There's two types of charges that you're most likely charged with, either a misdemeanor or a felony. Each of them are serious, and each of them requires to have an experienced attorney represent you. So whether you were arrested for a misdemeanor or whether you were arrested for a felony, the process is still the same. You're going to have a future court date. Now for felonies, the court date is usually a lot closer to the date of your arrest. For a misdemeanor, it's usually a little bit longer. Nevertheless, that first court date is called the arraignment. The arraignment is where you go before the judge and you enter a plea of either guilty or not guilty. At that time, your bail may be discussed. If you have a high bail and you're currently in custody, your bail amount will be discussed with the judge. At that time, you choose a future court date in order to properly investigate the case and properly fight the case. So being arrested is just the first step. The officer has arrested you, he's written a report, and he's sent that on to the district attorney. The district attorney then reviews the police report and decides what charges to file. By the time you've called me, you've either bailed out of jail or you've had a loved one call me while you're in jail. I'm able to look at the charges that you've been charged with, find out what your maximum exposure is as far as jail time and fines and everything else, and then start charting a course to actively pursue this to get a good result. Every case is different, the facts of every case are different, and that's why what will happen at the end is always different. But to have an attorney to be able to navigate that difficult course while you've been arrested is important, because the consequences are severe. Your life is literally hanging in the balance. Nobody knows that more than I do. I've dealt with hundreds and hundreds of clients and realized the different scenarios and circumstances that have caused you to be looking for me. And with my aggression, my passion, and my expertise, I will be able to help you effectively navigate through that course. Because at the end of the day, we do not want you to have a felony conviction. We do not want you to have a misdemeanor conviction. We don't want you to go to jail, and we don't want you to go to prison. We want you to get a second chance on life. We want to be able to convince the DA and the judge that this was a one-time issue. And even more importantly, that possibly you're not even guilty of these crimes. Maybe the elements of the crime have not been met and they do not have a strong case. Either way, I'm going to advocate for you. I'm going to be in your corner fighting for you on these charges. And charges vary. Felonies and misdemeanors, there's all kinds of charges. Knowing how to work each individual charge and what angle to take is crucial to getting a good result. And that's why when you are arrested, don't hesitate to call an attorney. Because I'm sure right now you're scared, you're upset, and you're feeling like all is lost. And I assure you, all is not lost. Hire an attorney who's going to go in there, who does this for a living, that can handle the case for you.
Why should I hire you?
It's a good question. There's a lot of attorneys out there. You could look in the phone book and call 1,000 different attorneys, and they all might tell you different things. As you can tell by looking at me, I'm a younger attorney. But that doesn't mean I'm not experienced. I have won not guilty verdicts in every courthouse in San Diego. I've handled hundreds and hundreds of cases, from minor petty theft crimes all the way up to serious manslaughter and rape charges. I've gotten good results all along the way. I work closely with my clients and give them the personal attention they need to get a good result. But that's not enough. You've got to know the law. I feel as a young attorney that I am on the cutting edge of the law, knowing the small nuances that are important to get you a good result. I have great client reviews. I've never had a client ever complain or cancel against me. They all appreciate the work that I do. Because my clients are going to get excellent communication from me. One of the biggest complaints that clients have against their attorney is that the attorney won't call them back. They can't get a phone call back. They don't know what's going on with their case. I pride myself on always keeping in contact with my clients. I text all my clients. I email my clients. I return phone calls when I'm not in court immediately. That way you're never left not knowing what's going on. Now, fees are also very important to people. People want to get a good attorney, but they don't want to overpay. This economy has crippled people. People don't have as much money as they used to, and they need to be smart in the person that they hire. However, I caution you, don't just go hire the cheapest attorney. Don't pick up the phone and look for the cheapest quote you can get, because you will get what you pay for. Also, don't be gouged by some attorney who's going to rip you off in a time of despair. For me, I quote reasonable fees. I operate on a flat fee basis. I don't do billable hours. That means once I evaluate your case, I will quote you a fee. That fee is set no matter how much work I have to do. If I have to put in 24 hours a day for for the next 2 months, your fee remains the same. I will not send you a bill or call you and tell you I need more money. I also work on payment plans. People don't have money coming out of their ears that they can just pay an attorney all this money up front. I will work on a reasonable payment plan with people to ensure that they have a good attorney in their corner and they can afford it.
Why do attorneys do billable hours on criminal defense cases?
Not a lot of attorneys do. It is a standard practice from what I know from my colleagues to do a flat fee. Billable hours are more for corporate attorneys and for people who want to have their case broken up on a billable hour. But it's not in your interest to do that, because every 10-minute phone call, every couple hours at court will start adding up and it will end up nickeling and diming you. This is the most effective way to get an attorney for a price that you know it's going to be and the results that you're going to get.
Couldn't I just go with a public defender?
Going with the public defender is always an option. Number one, you have to qualify for a public defender. You have to fill out a financial declaration to show the court that you can't afford an attorney.
So if I can afford an attorney, I can't get a public defender?
You have to fill out a financial declaration, and in certain cases the judge will require you to have a public defender if you don't have enough money, and if you don't qualify, then you might not be able to get a public defender.
In that case, I'd either have to represent myself or hire an attorney.
That's correct. So the question becomes, what's the difference between a public defender and a private attorney? Well, the public defenders are good attorneys. They work hard, they know the law. However, they are overwhelmed. They have a lot of cases on hand. Let me stop there. I don't want to get in the public defender, because when they look at this, they get real ticked when I say stuff like that. They do.
That's fine.
Because they disagree with everything I'm about to say. I would only tell that confidentially to someone not on the web.
Yeah, that's fine. I think that we're okay.
Okay. So then another question you can ask me is what else did you have on there?
That's it. Are you affordable? But you already covered that.
Okay, one other one. Is it important? How do I know you're going to get me a good result?
Do you have a place on your website where you have listed all the
Yeah.
Okay, good. I was going to ask you that question, but I wasn't sure if you're ready for that. So how can I know if you've handled a case like mine?
It's a good question. If you go to my website, you can look at my recent results and I can show you on there cases that I've handled that might be similar to yours and the results that I've gotten. You can even ask me about my experience and find out if I've handled a case like this and now if I feel confident that I can get you a good result. Let me tell you something. A lot of attorneys will just take as many cases as they possibly can. The more cases that come through the door means more money for them. I'm not like that. I found in my practice it's better to cap the amount of cases that I will accept. The reason I do that is because I want to have the ability to give you the attention you deserve. So I will only take on a certain amount of cases that I feel I am competent and capable of giving every ounce of energy that I can. I won't overload myself with cases. You might want to ask a prospective attorney that you're interviewing how many cases they have and whether they're going to be the ones personally handling the case. Many times they'll pass off the case to a junior associate who you've never met before. You will meet with me and deal with me the entire time. When you pick up the phone and call right now, you can speak with me, Bradley Corbett. I will be meeting with you in person to talk about your case. I will be going to court for you. You will know exactly what you're getting when you hire me. Someone who's honest, someone who's hardworking, someone who's experienced, and most importantly, someone who's passionate about what they do in order to get you a good result. This is a horrible time for you. Being arrested and charged with a crime is a sickening experience. The thought of jail time makes people ill. Having an attorney who's going to come and be in your corner and fight for you aggressively is very important. Whether you hire me or whether you hire somebody else, you need to know that that attorney is going to get you a good result. I feel confident in my abilities. I get good results. I know the law. But it's up to you to decide, to do your homework and find out who you want to hire and why you're hiring that person. Make sure you ask the right questions when you call an attorney. Ask them how much it's going to cost, what that fee entails, what their experience is, how confident they feel in your case, and why they should go with you. When you call me, you will get good, honest advice about your case. And I feel confident and comfortable in being able to handle any case that you might have here in San Diego. I've been to every single courthouse. I'm well known and well respected in this legal community, and I will get you a good result. Check out my website, read client reviews, read reviews from other attorneys about me, and read about my good results.
What do I do now if I want to hire you?
You're going to want to call me up. Call the number. I'll answer my phone 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. I don't care if it's a Sunday. I don't care if it's a holiday. Call me up. We will arrange a mutually convenient location. I have 2 office locations. an office in the greater San Diego area in Mission Valley, and an office in North County. So we'll find a convenient office location to meet. You'll come into my office, we'll talk about the case, no obligation, no pressure. If you feel like I'm the attorney that you want to represent you, we can then arrange that. We'll sign an agreement. I will then be on board to go and start getting the police report and actively fighting your case. But you've got to pick up the phone, you've got to call me, and know that it's totally free, the consultation, it's no pressure whatsoever, and we can talk about your case. But you've got to call me.